Good afternoon. Andrew Mubiru is my name. Welcome to the DNA Forensic Symposium. Today, I am delighted to present to you our lessons learned from establishing the Uganda Police DNA Laboratory. The outline of my presentation will involve an introduction. I will briefly talk about the UPF Forensic Services, the Forensic DNA Laboratory, our existing opportunities that we have, and the lessons learned. In 2012, the East African community resolved to have the Uganda Police Force host the Regional Forensic Referral Center. This need arose out of the need to strengthen the investigative capacity of law enforcement agencies in the East African region, facilitate other law and order sector agencies in the administration of justice, as well as combat the increased sophistication and transnational nature of crime, especially terrorism, cybercrime, and the investigation of other cross-border crimes. From this, we have the Director of Forensic Services, which now hosts the Forensic DNA Laboratory. Forensic Services is one of the 18 directorates of the Uganda Police Force. Forensic Services has 7 departments, and we're staffed with 611 personnel across the entire country. There is a specific department where the Forensic DNA Laboratory is hosted, and that is under the Chemical, Biological, Radiological, Nuclear, and Explosive Analysis Department. This department has 29 staff. The Forensic DNA Laboratory currently has application areas that include DNA databasing. This is for the criminal database, where we have suspects who are arrested at station for arrestable offenses and where we take DNA specimen. We also do quite an enormous amount of casework. And for casework, we use the autosomal short tandem repeat, just like we do for the DNA databasing. And this makes it quick for us to identify offenders from our repository. We also do Y chromosome tests, YSTRs. This is male specific, especially in cases of rape, defilement. We also go ahead and do additional examinations using our next generation sequencing techniques. So we have identity informative SNPs that we have from Africa Biosystems. We also have ancestry informative SNPs and phenotypic informative SNPs. These two are still under development on our end, and we are developing use cases for them. Mitochondrial DNA is also available for our use. We are going ahead to develop our wildlife forensic capabilities, and this is using the existing capacity that we have. An ongoing research we are undertaking also in age estimation, because this is important in cases of defilement and rape, because the statutory age requirement, but also we are having a demand from our midterm access on our National Social Security Fund. So this requirement of persons declaring their age has brought about people turning around and changing their documentation. So the authorities are looking for a scientific way of estimating age or bringing about to understand somebody's chronological age vis-a-vis their biological age. So this research we are undertaking with custom kits that we're developing with Africa Biosystems. This laboratory was commissioned on 28th January 2021, and since then, for the year 2021, 446 cases were received, and currently in 2022, 211 cases have been received and under processing. 30% of these are for sexual and gender-based violence. Our existing opportunities that we have is that we have been able to enhance the management of sexual and gender-based violence cases because we have a quicker turnaround time. So we are able to take reports back to the investigating officers and they submit files to court for prosecution. The capacity for criminal DNA databasing is now at a rate of 600 profiles per day, and this we can do comfortably, although we have not even maxed out this capacity. It's because of the automation that we have in place. So this has been able to help us enhance the biometric profile of suspects, and we look forward to continuously improving our capabilities. Using the latest next generation sequencing platforms, we are able to have additional information, thereby providing forensic intelligence to frontline policing. So this is quite very important for us. Our capacity to explore additional investigative areas has also been enhanced, as I originally pointed out. Age estimation is something you're looking at, ancestry determination, and DNA phenotyping, among others. DNA phenotyping in particular is one area that we are interested in, and we are seeking to see how to use the existing capacity to do more research in this area. We have learned quite a number of lessons, but 3 stand out. One of the things that we have been able to actually realize as a key to the proper running of the lab is that we need to enhance the sensitization and awareness of first responders. We use very sensitive techniques now, so the first responders need to be more careful in crime scene approach and processing, including the frontline forensic practitioners. Those are the scene of crime officers. So we are doing additional training to bring them up to speed to understand that we are able to even be able to detect DNA on previously classified as touch DNA or low copy number DNA. So there's no such thing nowadays as low copy number DNA because the systems are now more sensitive. The depth at which we are able to recover profiles down to 0.125 nanograms of DNA, and this is quite remarkable. We have also seen the need to develop our additional programs for the forensic practitioners. So their continuous development is important for us to make sure that we are able to maximally use the capabilities that we have. We are also looking at enhancing our oversight across the entire forensic value chain. This is from the crime scene all the way to the lab, including the chain of custody thereof. Of course, this is important for any forensic practice, but in particular on our end is simply because we want to minimize contamination and also reduce the chain of custody, so that we have a scene of crime officer straight away. We have our evidence response bands, as you see on the next slide, and this enables us to be able to bring the exhibits quickly into the lab and be able to process for the investigating officers. I would like to thank you for listening to me. This is one of the evidence response vans that we now have to support the back-end processing, and on the left is our late Deputy Inspector General of Police, together with the Principal Judge who commissioned the forensic laboratory in January 2021. I thank you all. I wish you well. I will take any questions if there are any. Thank you.